Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Stock. Welcome back. In this video, all I have to say is holy crap, Nvidia. Did you guys happen to check out those earnings? They were just released. We haven't had the commentary for those earnings yet, but I just couldn't wait to get this video out to all of you. So I'm going to pump that out as soon as possible, hitting some of the highlights that I think are really just incredible about the earnings that even exceeded my expectations. I was already bullish. I thought, given the significant upside that we already have seen in Nvidia over the past couple months, that this time we might see a little bit more. I said 5 to 7%. And wow, was that way off. They are so much higher in the after hours. Of course, we won't really know until the market opens tomorrow just how well this is received. But let me just pull up a few things. So just so you guys know, in this, I will be featuring the Moomoo app. So there is a link down in the description. You get your 20 free stocks. I don't want to dwell on that, though. Instead, I would rather get right over to this part of it. All right, so right from NVIDIA's investor relations page, we get this slide coming out for us. So over $4 billion. All these values are in millions that you see on here. This is the biggest number that they have ever had in data center. Just an incredible leap over what they had previously. We'll look at those percentages in just a moment. I put that out on a spreadsheet for you so you guys can see just how incredible it is. Gaming actually is seeing some strength come back, so that bottom being in Q3 of last year into Q4 of last year, a little bit more strength, and then even more on top of it. So Nvidia, even for their gaming sector, also doing well. Personal visualizations, my goodness, I'm too excited to speak. Also up significantly. Auto about even so far, and then OEM and other down just a little bit, but still look at those totals across the bottom of this, that they are almost at $7.2 billion, which was what some of the analyst estimates had it at, which is down from some of the other values that we have. When you look at these other values that are on here, like they peaked at almost $8.3 billion in revenue, but that's when their gaming revenue was much stronger. So that's something to point out, that their cards being used as miners for cryptocurrency was a big thing. Plus, we had a lot of stimulus coming out. So that's why that number is so high for gaming, for the graphics cards. There was so much more demand. There was so much more cash going for it. And so you see the drop happening. Now, for data center, those numbers were strong, and those numbers kind of stagnated for a little bit. But what we actually have here is incredible strength, because there are trade restrictions with China that Nvidia cannot sell their top tier chips to China, and that was a big hit to their revenue. So when you see them drop down and go through the tough time, and that's why you see the V shape when you look at the daily chart, which we're going to pull up in just a moment. Before we get to that, what I want to show you is the spreadsheet where I've taken these values and I put them into percentage terms so you can see just how big of a move this is. So let me zoom in just a little bit more so we can read these better on screen here. So this is the same numbers that you just looked at. But when we come down here to the numbers that they have, data center took almost a 20% leap, 18.5% up from the previous quarter. This is truly an inflection point for their earnings, and that's why in the after hours, which I will show you, they've moved up so strongly. Gaming up 22.3% over the previous quarter. Professional visualization up at 30% over the previous quarter. And then the next noteworthy thing that we see down here, OEM and others down significantly, but that was also the smallest part by far of their revenue, coming out to almost a 19% gain over the previous quarter in their revenues. That was incredible. And down here, this is what they were guiding for. They were guiding for $6.5 billion in revenue, and they came in with pretty much a 10% beat on that. So you can see the high and low estimates according to the guidance that they gave at their last earnings call. I believe it was back in February. And so that's why we see such a strong reaction, I should say, in the after hours. And like I said, I hope that at least some of this strength continues throughout tomorrow. So here we're looking at the daily chart in the Moomoo app, link down in the description. Get your free stocks and look at how it's been going. We actually peaked at 318, dropped down to about 305 today. And if we zoom out to see the path that we were on, you can see the V shape that we got with the sell-off with the rest of the markets. Plus, there was also Ethereum switching from proof of work to proof of stake. There was a lot of demand pulled back in the gaming sector with the graphics cards, plus economic stimulus also being pulled out of that. And then we see the 2023 recovery start to come in. Actually, this is October that we're looking at. 2023 is all the way over here. When we look at January and we start to really see it rip upward with the AI movement. Now let's look in the after hours. So look at this spike that we see. And on top of that, look at the volumes in the after hours. Some of them are higher than what we had for regular trading hour volumes. There is a lot of demand for NVIDIA being the top dog that they are. And there's reasons why I have previous videos celebrating the success that is NVIDIA right now, especially at this moment that they are critical to the AI scene. So NVIDIA being established as an artificial intelligence leader when it comes to infrastructure, not only with their hardware, but their software services, they really do stand to capitalize. I don't know that this strength holds out for the long term. I do think that some of the euphoria will come off. There is a rather rich valuation, but as some of that shininess and that newness starts to wear off, sort of like a new car, and the excitement is down a little bit, maybe we see a little bit of softness, which creates some buying opportunities for other people who might happen to be bullish on NVIDIA stock. So when we go back here, let me zoom out just so we can see. So right now in the after hours, NVIDIA is trading at what makes an all-time high. It just saw $364 come onto the screen. So let me grab a horizontal line just so we can see where that is. So horizontal line, 364, assuming that this holds up, 364 is right about there. That would put in a huge green candle. I mean, this is a large market cap stock already. It was already like a $600 billion. As a matter of fact, we can pull that up, what the market cap is for NVIDIA. There we go. And market cap with this after hours bump, it looks like $755 billion market cap. Since their last earnings, just before their last earnings, they were sitting at $500 billion market cap. They are up 50% by market cap since their last earnings. And that's just incredible. So this was a lot of fun. Let's take a look at the 8K and then I'll let you guys go. By the way, don't forget about checking out the link for the free stocks through the Moomoo app. Wonderful trading app, wonderful platform, and it also is available on your cellular device. For me, it's my iPhone. It's also available on Android, and then you also have it coming out on. You also have it on Mac. You have it on Windows, and it's just been wonderful. I really enjoy using it. I think you will too. All right, for the 8K that we have, this is their SEC filing that we're looking at. Do a little bit of scrolling, and let's look at the numbers that we have here. Gross margin coming in at almost 65%, which is about right for them. Diluted earnings per share, according to generally accepted accounting principles, 82 cents. So that's a 44% increase from the previous quarter, 28% up year over year. So wonderful for that. When we look at non-GAAP, we're at $1.09, and I believe that was guided to be 92 cents. This is an extraordinary beat on behalf of what we see coming through NVIDIA. Now, it is funny when you look at the year-over-year values, it actually says down 20%, but they are returning to strength. They said Q3 of last year, Q3 of 2022 is likely the bottom, and so far that's proving to be the case. So just some of the commentary that they have to offer here. It says today reported revenue for the first quarter ended April 30th, 2023, $7.2 billion, down 13% from a year ago. But remember, they lost China with their top tier chips because they can't send the AI stuff over there. Also, remember that gaming took a big hit. The stimulus money's out. They weren't selling as many graphics cards. So this time last year was when we saw the last of that strength really start to go out of the markets. So really the strength of the consumer, when they do start to come back, that should also start to boost gaming. Plus they have that lower tier graphics card now that should really help out some of the consumers because they do come out at lower prices but still deliver some very, very decent performance. They are on par with what we see from some of the higher tier previous generation graphics cards with a few added features. You want to watch your tech review channels for that to find out more. And we get right here from the CEO, the computer industry is going through two simultaneous transitions, accelerated computing and generative AI, said Jensen Huang, founder and CEO of NVIDIA. So it says $1 trillion of installed global data center infrastructure will transition from general purpose to accelerated computing as companies race to apply generative AI into every product, service, and business process. And I don't think that anybody with ChatGPT really starting to hit the mainstream, the masses, not just the people who have their faces buried in tech all the time or in the stock market with the AI stocks, but everybody. It's starting to, my parents are talking about artificial intelligence, and they are they're both going to be in their 70s as of September. My father's already there. My mom's going to catch up. They'll both be septuagenarians by that point in time. And when they start to talk about stuff like this, like artificial intelligence and artificial intelligence stocks and companies and implications, you know that it's gone mainstream. So this was a really cool earnings to look at. I'm glad that I got a chance to do that. I can't wait to listen to their earnings call and come back to you guys with some of that commentary that I have for that. Check out that link down in the description for the Moomoo app. While you're looking around and digging up your free stocks by signing up and making your deposit with Moomoo, don't forget about that link for the Patreon down there to hear more of my commentary and also to get access to my Patreon community through my private Discord. That link for the Patreon is also down in the description. Like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to see anytime my videos come out. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. We'll see you in the next video.